which I never got. This is one of the ones that I never got when I was a teenager. I remember that I got the Sally miniseries, and I had all three, and unfortunately, because I didn't really take good care of them, I don't really have them anymore. I will say that. Oh my God. I haven't had this in a long time. It's been a long time since I've had this. And I already mentioned it to you. The Sally miniseries, the first one. And I assume that you gave me issues 2 and 3. Let me see. And I think that's it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Unfortunately, these things got bent. But I'd like to thank you very much, Frank. Issues 2 and 3. Awesome. I had these when I was a teenager. I had these, Frank. Yeah, it was really fun that my friend Frank gave me the Princess Sally miniseries. Something that I have not had since I was a teenager. And that was a pretty happy time. And I was absolutely surprised by Frank. And like I did with the package opening video, I thanked them. I thanked them when I talked about the package that I got. And if you did not watch the package opening video, which is in 2 parts, you can watch that before you watch this. But this was supposed to be a follow-up to the package opening video that I did that It's Frank gave me. And when I did that particular video, I actually filmed that video July 19th, 2017. That was actually the day I got the package. Unfortunately, hours later, and I think this was around 6 or 7 o'clock, I don't know when this was actually announced, I actually filmed the package opening video around the afternoon. It was the early afternoon at the time. And when the announcement came around 6 or 7 o'clock, I was shocked. Sadly, folks, the Sonic the Hedgehog comic, and I was absolutely surprised that the announcement about the comic came the same day I got the package with the Sonic the Hedgehog comics that Frank got me. The sad news, folks, and you probably already know, the Sonic the Hedgehog comic by Archie is no longer going to be in production. It has been discontinued by Archie. After 290 issues, and I haven't gotten the 290 issue yet. Hopefully I will get that in the near future. But after that entire issue, and there was supposed to be more issues this year. Unfortunately, it went on hiatus around January of this year. And it wasn't until July 19th, which was yesterday, by the way. I'm actually filming this the day after the announcement because I got stuff to show you. And that'll be after I talk about the comic in general, because there's quite a bit to talk about. Because this particular comic was a part of my teenage days. I got Sonic the Hedgehog comics from 1994 to 1998. And I actually got one more a couple of years back. And it was the 240th episode. Or, excuse me, the 240th issue, I should say. These are not episodes, but the thing about comic books, and I will say this, that usually there are different stories when it comes to comic books. So from issue 1 to 290, that's it. The comic didn't even reach 300, which is a real shame. And I know there are people that are really sad about this and even mad. I know that Brian Walmer is mad about this because done quite a bit of videos about the Sonic the Hedgehog comic being discontinued by Archie. And I've even told about this to my friend Frank, and even Zaron Isaac knows about this news. Now, I want to point out that the first issue that I ever got was issue 17. And this was going to be a part of the follow-up to the package opening video that I did. And I was actually going to show this as the first issue I ever got. This isn't the original that I got, but I will say I am happy that I at least got a copy of it again. Because my original copy, unfortunately, bit the dust. And that was years ago, back when I was a teen, because at the time, I didn't know how to take care of my stuff. And if I would have known better at the time, I probably would have had every single comic that I ever got. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and as a result, I only got this and the Princess Sally miniseries that I used to have back when I was a teenager. And the Princess Sally miniseries I actually got from the package opening that I did. However, that's not all. A couple of years ago, I actually got issue 240. And then today, what I did as a result of the cancellation of the comic, I ended up going on a binge. And I actually got some issues of the comic. I got 267. And hopefully I don't drop these, because I don't have them in protectors. 275. 280. And 281. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the issues like 290 or 289 because the comic shop that I went to, my local comic shop, did not have that particular final issue. Hopefully I will get it one day. But, like I said, for the announcement, I was pretty shocked about it. So, like I said, on the next day, I bought 4 Sonic the Hedgehog comics. And in the near future, I'm actually going to give these to my child. So my child will be getting those in the near future, because I also got those comics for my child. So I went on a binge today in a way. I didn't get every single comic that they had there. They only had like 7, and I took 4 out of the 7. I decided not to get any more because I wanted to save my money. So I just got the 4, and that was it. And that's just because I grew up with the comic. And if it wouldn't have been a part of my life, I never would have heard of the comic. And I probably never would have been a friend with Brian and some other people that are fans of the comic. Now, I was never a really, really huge fan of the comic, but when I was into it, I was really into it. And I already showed you the first issue that I ever got, and that was 17. And I originally got that particular issue at this one store near the school that I used to go to. And that is where I usually got the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Now, the one thing I do regret, I think if I would have done this particular thing, I would have been a bigger fan. And my biggest regret is not subscribing to the comic. I never subscribed. I always tried to get the comic from the store, either at the comic shop that I went to today, or I got it at like a supermarket. But the problem is, at times, that particular comic wouldn't have been available. Some supermarkets don't always carry them. So as a result, I missed out on certain issues. And that's probably why I eventually stopped reading the comic at a certain time. My last issue that I ever got until issue 240, and today, of course, with the 4 comics, was issue 58. So from issue 17 to issue 58, I was a fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. And what I'm going to do, I think, as a result of the announcement from yesterday, even though you're probably watching this on Sunday, since I uploaded it on Sunday, and today was supposed to be a Snoopy Sundays episode, but I'm going to have to wait until next time for that particular episode to air. And that's just because, as a result of the news that happened this week, I had to cancel Snoopy Sundays for this week. So as a result, I had to do a particular video about me talking about the cancellation of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic by Archie. It's like an end of an era. And I was going to try to get a subscription. Can you believe that? That was my one regret, is not getting a subscription. However, if I would have gotten a subscription a long time ago, I probably would have been more of a fan, and I probably would have read more of the comic. It's a real shame that I didn't keep my interest in the comic after issue 58. And that's just because I didn't subscribe, and I really regret not subscribing to the comic. I really, really regret this. If I would have subscribed, because I know that Brian Wilmer subscribed, I probably would have kept my comics that I originally had, and I probably would have taken good care of them. Unfortunately, I didn't, and that was also a stupid thing that I regret. Not just not subscribing, but also not taking good care of the Sonic the Hedgehog comics that I used to have. Because I used to have quite a bit, and unfortunately, because I kept reading them and reading them and reading them, they deteriorated. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to talk about my memories more in future videos when it comes to the comic. It's an end of an era for everybody that got interested in the comic. And tell me how you feel about the comic discontinuing by Archie. Now, I assume it was discontinued because of Riverdale. And I think that was the huge reason why. I think Archie was more interested in Riverdale and stopped being interested in the Sonic the Hedgehog comic altogether. It's a real shame that Archie decided to focus more on Riverdale rather than on the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Hopefully the Sonic the Hedgehog comic will be picked up by another comic company, so we will get new issues of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic that won't be by Archie. It's a real shame that I had to tell about this news about the comic discontinuing that Archie Comics used to do. It's too bad that the hiatus that was from January of 2017 to now, where there was no announcement about the discontinuation of the comic until this week. I can't believe that they didn't decide to discontinue the comic back around the time the hiatus started. Because I really feel that Archie did not do a good job. And I really feel that Archie was the one that pulled the plug. I really feel that it was them. But I'll probably know more information about it and the reasons why Archie decided to discontinue the comic, hopefully pretty soon. All I gotta say is rest in peace to the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. And I've been talking way too long. It's probably over 20 minutes, and I do apologize. I just wanted to talk about the Sonic the Hedgehog comic, the discontinuation of the comic, and some of my memories of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. I might actually do some reviews of the stories that I do remember when it comes to the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. And thank you very much, Frank, for giving me those comic books that were issues of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. It's a real shame that the announcement of the discontinuation of the comic had to come on the same day the package that you sent me came. Thank you very much, and everybody that's watching, how do you feel about the discontinuation of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic by Archie? Let me know down below in the comment box. Thank you very much, everybody, and I'll catch you next time. And hopefully there'll be a Snoopy Sundays episode next Sunday. Hopefully I can get a episode in order. I probably will do that for Sunday. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.